Do you think this will drive up the viewership count if I show some cleavage?
Welcome to podcast. Michael, like an audio wizard.
Yeah,
with
it's real
the
tough.
soundboard. Oh yeah, no, you're pushing a couple of buttons, but he absolutely loves being able to do that manually. Though we said we could pre-record it, and I also love that we are still using the built-in to the soundboard audio thing to make it run. So if you've heard that intro number before, it's probably because you've listened to other things that use our similar hardware setup.
No, I think we're unique.
But here we are.
Because we have Welcome to Podcast.
Episode 19 of the CuzWords podcast. Michael, oh, no, full intro here. I'm Madison. This is my co-host.
Michael.
Awesome. There we go. All right. I'm feeling a little bit better about it. I knew I was forgetting something.
Episode 19.
We're starting off today a little bit disappointed.
A little bit.
Michael.
But I've come to expect it with this this passion of mine. It tends to let me down.
Well, it's certainly not Halo's fault. It's Microsoft's management of Halo's fault. And I feel bad. I probably should have. If I'd known this was going to happen, I would have researched it a little bit more. But do you know Phil Spencer stepped down?
Yeah, and I think the new head is someone that has no experience in video gaming.
That's my understanding as well.
They're, we may be on a downward spiral pretty soon if those that are Xbox enthusiasts.
Well, I've been saying it for years. I think Xbox is turning into a subscription service like Netflix for video games. And I don't even think they're going to make a new Xbox coming up. They might make some more mobile devices, but it's just going to either run Windows. I doubt it'll run SteamOS because they're not a big fan of SteamOS. In fact, they're not a big fan of Linux at all. It's taking over majority share of Windows devices, or it's taking, I should say, their monopoly on devices. I myself am even considering swapping over to Linux because I don't like the new AI features that are getting included with Windows and are bogging down my system something fierce. But trailed off a little bit there. What we're discussing though is that
we were going to have a live stream today.
We were going to live stream
a
Halo 3 tournament.
Yeah,
and unfortunately,
we realized how old we are.
Out of the entire Halo community, nobody signed up.
Nobody wanted to do it. And so there is no Halo 3 tournament today. Instead, they were going to run alongside it a Halo Infinite tournament, and that is the one that's getting all the traction. I've played 5 games of Halo Infinite in my life. I was super hyped, super excited. You can even go back and listen to my excitement in the previous episode when we discussed it. Nothing. Just zero zilch. And there may be some extenuating circumstances that caused this to not happen beyond just player interest, but we were hoping for such a great turnout, this event being held in San Antonio, that we get to watch some nostalgic Halo 3 MLG settings, some top-tier gameplay. Didn't happen. Halo Infinite, they turned out for that somewhat. The biggest turnout, it seemed to be for Halo 5 2v2s. What do you think about that? Halo 5 Guardians.
I don't think you want to know what I think about that.
2v2s.
Halo 5? Halo 5 is... I thought that was just like something we don't talk about anymore.
Halo 5 was better than Halo 4. But that bar is so low it's under the ground.
Yeah.
With Halo 4.
I mean, it wouldn't be hard to be better than... I could go out and we could yell... we could pick up sticks and yell pew pew at each other. It'd be better than Halo 4.
I have zero experience in video game development, and if you give me a weekend, I think I'll come up with something better than Halo 4.
Oh, that's okay. We'll get over it. I mean, I accepted this for Super Smash Brothers. I'll accept Halo's fate also, and it's not Halo's fault. It's the people that control Halo, which is a large corporation. Most things controlled by large corporations tend to spiral downward very quickly, especially if it at one point in time made money, they're going to try to squeeze it for every penny they can continue to get out of it.
Mm-hmm. But it's okay. Looking forward to what the future is for Halo. You've got the third version of Halo Combat Evolved. This is just Campaign Evolved coming out in the summer sometime. So
just adding to my point there, I'm assuming
third,
we're just gonna
the second remaster
of Halo 1, not a Halo 3
not
remaster.
Multiplayer.
Oh, and no multiplayer. That's right.
Just campaign.
I don't know. I mean, maybe that'll be something that we play on stream. Maybe that'll be good. We can get another monitor up. Something.
Yeah, we should lasso it on stream.
Lasso on stream.
Yeah.
Are they at least bringing back split screen?
I think so.
Okay. We'll have to figure out a way to get that running. I'm assuming if it's coming to PlayStation, it's probably going to be coming to Steam as well, or the Microsoft Store. We can figure out a way to get it, and then we can use it as a write-off. How about that?
Yeah.
Isn't that dope?
Yeah.
Yeah. Michael's doesn't have much experience with write-offs. I do, and those things are great. Get yourself a new phone that you need for work. Tax deductible. It's great. I won't go so far as to abuse the system like a lot of people do. They'll just take their entire family on vacation and say, "Oh yeah, I had a meeting with a client in Miami, and we talked for 20 minutes, and so I write off the entire trip." I don't do that. I don't do that kind of thing.
Does Chief count as a write-off?
Does Chief count as a write-off?
Yeah.
No, but what you could do if you wanted to is you could put him under child actor's salary and pay him, and then that's tax deductible for the CuzWords business. And then you could...
But he'd have to be on an episode.
That's correct. Yeah. He would have to be on an episode.
Probably
so he would have to make
co-hosting
an appearance on an episode.
Yeah.
And then you could do that up to, I don't know, I think it's like $20,000 a year or something.
Wow.
And then any income that he makes... we'd have to go back and look at what the laws are in Alabama for child actors. You may be able to be sole custodial of those funds. If not, otherwise it's going to have to go into his stuff, and you'd have to put that into like a, you'd have to put that in an investment plan or something for him until he was old enough. But at the same time, there are funny workarounds like that. If we, actually start making money, you can't really write off anything if you're not making any money. But
unfortunate.
It's not super unfortunate. I'm not I'm enjoying doing this with you. I don't know about you.
Oh yeah. I mean the extra money'd be nice.
Oh, who doesn't like extra money?
Like sponsors, anybody that's watching, you can sponsor the CuzWords podcast.
I think that there are plenty of people that don't know about us that want to hear about us. So what we're going to have to do is get the editor to make a couple of shorts here or there and promote us a little bit better. And I think that would take us a long way, but that's a discussion for off camera.
The editor needs a pay raise.
The editor needs a pay raise.
Yeah.
Right. So the editor wants to make more money, but first he needs a pay raise before he's willing to put in the work to make more money. Yeah. That makes a lot.
He needs his pay raise from 0 to at least 0.
From 0 to 0.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a infinity multiplier.
What of other things? I'd like to move away kind of from, especially the podcast meta talk into other things going on, and probably even outside of Halo. How's you did bring up Chief? You got any quick status updates for us? What's going on there?
He may be going through sleep regression. It's kind of hard to tell, but the last few nights he's.
I have educate me. Sleep regression.
That's pretty typical for an infant around the 6-month range, 4 to 6 months to start not sleeping as well at night and reverting back to how it was as a brand new newborn. And the last 2 nights, he's not really wanting to go to sleep. So
I do that though. Is that sleep regression?
Might be.
Yeah. So
Are
I
your
always
teeth
find
coming in finally. Oh, okay.
I might be missing 1 or 2.
Yeah,
I'm not missing 1 or 2 in case
the average in Alabama is like 26, probably 26 teeth.
Yeah, yeah, and a big of that's and a big part of that number is skewed here in over here in the city that we're based out of.
Yeah.
You get a couple of folks. Remember that one neighbor we had that one time show us his front teeth, and he was totally missing all his back ones?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, you may have not even known about it. He did a great job hiding it. He's a cool guy, but
Oh yes, I remember now. I remember. I did. I thought you meant a. I know who you're talking about now. I got
okay,
you. I got
okay,
you.
yeah. We're not going to get too specific with it. We do our best not to talk to folk or talk about folks that we don't have their permission to talk about. But dude's country's all get out, and
Of course, I don't really know if a lot of that was because of just being country. He partook in activities that would cause you to. This sounds even worse. The route that I'm going. He's an athlete, and I think the sports that he played caused him to lose some teeth.
It's very important to wear that mouth guard.
Yeah,
no doubt, especially when you don't have somebody that's actually there, like making sure that you're wearing it and getting penalized for it.
Yeah,
I would highly recommend. Plus, I thought you were going to say he's in his free times like he's chewing on firecrackers or something.
I mean, it sounded like I was about to say like he just is a meth head or something like.
Oh yeah,
like he partook in activities in his. He played sports.
Sure, no, but we do have plenty of those around here too.
Oh, they're everywhere. They're like the flood in Halo.
They're like what, meth heads?
Yeah,
yeah. You get infected by them.
Yeah.
And I know that it's unfortunate. Have you noticed a correlation between? I have, since we started bombing all those boats in Venezuela, like drug cartel, like cutting back or cutting down the drug cartels in Venezuela. Have you noticed we got less crackheads walking up and down the street? Have you even stopped to think about it? I've noticed it. I think they're being like forced to get or forced to go through detox or something.
I haven't really noticed, but I don't feel like around here we've got like an absurd amount. We have we have the few that you see, the regulars,
the recurring crackheads.
Yeah, but I hadn't seen like an uptick or a downtick.
Well, I have noticed that the streets seem to be a little bit more peaceful and a lot less screaming even from those folks that at one point were certainly on something. It's not it's good that we're able to see it affecting the community in a positive way. I don't know how they're feeling about it. I don't know. Maybe they're having to go through. I mean, to be honest, if I was a crackhead, I would probably trust people in Venezuela that do it for a living than some dude that's got a barrel out in the middle of the woods making drugs.
I'm trying to find the next Walter White. They should have like a reality TV show in the United States where like you got like American Idol or The Voice. It's like America's Next Top Meth Dealer or Meth Cook, and you bring in all these guys that are cooking the best crystal they possibly can. And you've got
celebrity
Bryan
judges.
Cranston as a celebrity judge.
Nice, and he gets to sample it and he rates it.
Yeah.
I don't think we're too far.
I would watch
I think give it another 20
heck
years.
out of that show.
Give it another 20 years, and I bet we're there. It's the way that entertainment is headed is very, very interesting. Of course, AI might crush that too. I mean, we might literally just be able to type that into a prompt one day. Hey, I want America's Best Meth Dealers.
You already
with
can.
Bryan Cranston as the host, and
Yeah.
then get a full like hour-long episode, or possibly even like an 8-hour-long like series.
Yeah.
And then go between it. I'm pretty excited about the way that AI is headed in the entertainment space. Obviously, a lot of people are complaining, voices being used. People that are like voice actors and stuff are getting put out of jobs very, very quickly. But I've been kind of impressed in some of these AI songs. I watched a thing by a YouTuber not too long ago. She's an artist, and she was complaining that AI music is kind of is almost too easy, right? Like think about it back in the old Stingray days, right? You wanted a beat. Nowadays, you just type in the beat, and you can get your own beat and own it, and then put something behind it. It's to fill in the audience. Stingray was Michael's alter ego, his Slim Shady, so to speak.
Yeah, not quite at that level.
No, not quite to that level. Definitely went to a recording studio in Atlanta, and the place was something out of a Cheech and Chong movie when we were in there recording.
Yeah,
but that was mine and my father's Christmas present to Michael one year was him actually getting to go to a real Atlanta recording studio, and boy was it a real Atlanta recording studio. House in the middle of nowhere, and if you listen carefully, you can hear the shots of gang violence going off in the background, even through the soundproofing.
I'll say that the guy was professional that we recorded with.
Oh yeah,
everything was good. Didn't have a lot of experience doing that. So I didn't really know exactly what I was doing going in. He was much more hands off. He was there to try to guide the process more so than show me any tips and tricks.
Yeah.
So if I could do it again, I'd be much more aware of how things go, and I'd be more. I don't know. What's the right word? Artists probably go in kind of demanding things like, we're going to do it like this, we're going to do it like that.
Yeah.
I didn't do that. I was just there to experience it. Well, now I'd be like, I want to do this like this, and so on and so forth.
We had a set amount of time to do it, and I think, did we fly?
No. We just drove,
right?
We just drove to Atlanta.
Yeah. Why did I feel like I remembered us taking an Uber at one point?
I think we did.
Why would we take an Uber instead of drive?
I think we just wanted to leave our vehicle parked at the hotel.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea too.
And because we didn't know exactly how parking would work at the studio.
That makes sense. Yeah. And then we had Subway for lunch.
Yep.
That was the most memorable part of that experience for me. That's not true. There was a lot of memories made. That dude was vibing. High as a kite. Knew he didn't even realize the world existed. He was putting those beats together, making it sound good, mixing you up. When was the last time you wrote anything?
Been a while. A while. Too busy.
I catch myself having my creativeness get just get spewed out every once in a while. You see that message I sent to into the boys chat not too long ago, talking about some of the Epstein stuff?
Ah, yeah, I do. Yeah,
yes.
Right.
Where I pretended to be like a post broken spirit man because I was trying to explain that all this
drifting at sea.
Yeah, all this stuff was going on back in back in the 2015, 2016 days, and they thought it was crazy.
Well, 2016 was when Pizzagate was all over the news, but people were denying it, saying it's absurd. And
I'm on the other end of that, saying no. There's this stuff holds some cadence. Nobody believed me. None of the boys believe me, but that's okay. And I
don't know if I was in that. I was somewhere in the middle where I believed that there was something going on, but I didn't believe to the extent that these recent dumps of files have shown. But I thought that there was definitely possibly some very illicit players there, but maybe not the people that were running the government.
It does sound crazy to think that world leaders are taking place in children sacrifices, human cloning experiments, and obviously the child,
the trafficking.
The trafficking. Thank you. The thing that we can't say on YouTube, all that stuff.
I can't keep up with what you can and can't say on YouTube anymore.
Oh well, we do our best to avoid words that are triggering to the algorithm. But yeah, it was hard for us to, it's hard to accept that those things were happening. And but there was a part of me that knew. Like I actually did my research into it. I looked at credible evidence, and all the evidence pointed in one way, and trying to get the boys to believe it. No, never happened. I like to say that I am always right in 5 years. That's kind of become the new. It's become the new meme, especially with Teach.
What's the thing right now that in 2031 you're going to be like, "Told you so"?
Yes, my stick workout.
I don't doubt anything about the stick workout. I just don't want to do it because it doesn't feel good.
It's not supposed to feel good. It's working out.
No, there's other aspects of working out that do feel good.
Well, I mean, it's not always supposed to feel good. It doesn't feel good to exert yourself to a place of a little bit of pain. But I will tell you that will be the new trend. I'm calling it now. And I don't know, maybe not 5 years, but it is. I mean, it works. It's like running. It's basically running, but for your arms. You're getting a level of engagement between all the muscles and building flexibility, strength, and also a level of hand-eye coordination that you really can't get with any other workout.
Speaking of working out, I think we've talked about this before, but what are your PRs, if you could go over those on the 3 big lifts?
All time or current?
Oh, all time. I mean, if you've hit it once, you hit it for life.
All right. I'm at a 285 bench. I'm at a 465 deadlift and a 315 squat. My squat, I mean, I don't think I've talked about it before, but my legs do not like me very much. I don't know what it is, but squat has always been my shortcoming. But evidently, my cousin decided to max out the other day, and he hit a couple of PRs. He hadn't told me what they are yet, but I'm really excited to know, especially coming in at the age of 30, way too old.
Yep.
To be hitting PRs.
Still going up.
Somehow. All right, where are you at?
No. Beyond creatine, pre-workout. I'm not on any gear. So
that's not gear.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Let's not confuse it.
Yeah, I'm not on the strong stuff.
Gotcha.
So I actually do. There's 5 different things I try to max out on. Right. I do the 3 traditional. I also do overhead press, a standing barbell overhead press, and a preacher curls for 3 sets of 10.
Those don't matter. Just give the big ones.
So the big ones, I stayed the same on chest. Chest is my weakest one with bench press. I'm still stuck at 260, hard stuck there for the last 2 years. But I went up in squat and deadlift. I got a 415 squat.
Nice.
And I got a 450 deadlift.
Nice.
Yep. And I did it. And so the most bizarre thing about this is the routine that I've been doing for the past, 2 or 3 months is a women's CrossFit routine.
So you're basically pushing your body in ways that aren't meant that it's not meant to be pushed, and you're seeing results from it. That is actually pretty funny. Women's CrossFit. How's
a lot of kettlebell swings.
Okay.
A lot of push presses. A lot of regular squats and front squats. Lots of pull-ups. Still can't do a muscle up, but I did go up in 2 of my maxes. So I was not expecting that at all. At all when I tried to do them.
That's good stuff, dude. Yeah, I'm proud of you. I am to a place in my working out where I'm not trying to push beyond my previous limits. I feel pretty good with where I hit. I want to focus on long-term maintenance nowadays, though funny enough, I did hit the new bench press max not too long ago, which just happened to be because of my fantastic new stick workout that I've discovered. I mean, it's not new to me, but I've been doing it for a while and decided to lean into it a little heavier. I mean, where's your goal? When do you stop going for that, and when do you focus on not destroying your joints for your future and focusing on just maintaining a healthy lifestyle? At what point do you want to get there?
I don't know. I don't see a point right now where I'm like, no more maxing. I'm sure it'll come. Hopefully not disastrous fashion, but it's fun to pick a routine, do it, and then see where you sit at the end of it. Right now for me,
I hit that point when I pulled my back out, and it was either I pulled my back out or I slipped a disc, something like that. I don't know. I didn't go to the doctor for it. Not a big fan of going to the doctor. That'd actually be a fun something to get into.
Yeah, I mean, so I blew my shoulder out, almost 4 years ago.
Yeah, you did.
And I could have.
Oh no,
I'd been like you.
Don't
I hadn't gone to the doctor.
Hold on, don't skirt past that part. How did you pull your shoulder out, Michael?
Well, according to the doctor, it was clearly from wear and tear over time. But then the straw that broke the camel's back was I was inner tubing at a lake.
He was inner tubing at a lake,
and
he pulled his shoulder out.
I was trying too hard to stay on, and it snapped. Yeah,
not
tore
the best
rotator cuff and labrum.
Not the best. Not the best reason to tear your shoulder, but certainly a funny enough one where we can give you we can give you crap about it.
I had to rehab for it was I got surgery in July, and I didn't bench press the bar until October, and I didn't put a plate on it until after the new year.
Yeah.
But they said it was supposed to be a 9 to 12 month, and I was back to regular activity much quicker than that.
Well, I don't, and that's the thing. Like, I don't, for the most part, trust doctors. I think doctors believe what they say. I don't think that they're taught the right way. That's my take.
I mean, that could be the case in any profession. There's going to be some good and some bad in every profession.
I agree with this. I agree. I think that could be the case with any profession. But I feel like for some reason, doctors get ultimate authority. If a doctor says, "Oh, by the way, this is not health advice. This is a personal opinion of Madison on the CuzWords podcast. I am not suggesting that you don't go to your doctor if you're sick. I am merely stating an opinion and the lifestyle that I live. What a lifestyle is good for me is not necessarily a good lifestyle for you. But anyway, I don't listen to doctors. I think they're stupid. Doctors get out of medical school and they know exactly what they were taught in. They know what they were taught in school. They knew what it took to get that passing grade on those tests that they took, and then they're told, oh, here's all these medications that you need to take for certain ailments, and they don't necessarily take all the factors into consideration. I don't personally know too many doctors, if somebody comes in complaining about their knee pain, that would just turn around and say, you're fat, lose weight. Why? Because then they lose a customer. They make money when you go see the doctor. So my take on the doctor, and this is my ultimate take on the doctor, if this was 200 years ago and I was going to die, then I will go to the doctor. So in previous experiences, like when I screwed up my shoulder, I was going for a new bench press max back when I lived in Colorado. I got through the middle of my set, I was pushing for a new high. I'm cranking it out for those watching the audio podcast. I was pushing up on bench press, and then one of my shoulders snapped. Don't know what it was. Made a big noise. The whole gym turned and looked at me, and then I got up and and walked it off. It hurt for sure. No, actually, no doubt, it hurt.
Right. So
pretty bad.
when your shoulder collapsed,
Yeah.
like, did you have to have somebody help you put the bar back up, or did you?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I absolutely did. Yeah. And I don't even think that the bench that I was using had one of those extra catches right above where you touch it to your chest, and I think I racked it there.
Yeah.
But I got up, walked it off, and I was totally fine. I just couldn't move my arm for 4 months. It was no big deal. Just look, I knew my body had the capability of healing on its own. If it didn't, that's the whole point of being like not being made of not being a robot. We have blood and things that go in and fix that stuff. I'm pretty sure.
You think so?
Yeah, that's my medical take on it. Is we have blood and stuff that fixes it. You know, I feel like my little tiny cells and stuff can fix something better than a doctor can. So I know when Michael tore his shoulder, I told him not to worry about it. It'll fix itself. And I tried to help him stretch it out, and he just went, oh, ow, oh. And then he's like, oh, he used it all the time. Or he'll tell me, be like, remember that time I hurt my shoulder and I tore my rotator cuff?
Wifey remembers that.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's her job is to be worried about you, right? Your job is to, tough it up.
Tough it up.
Be a man. Yeah. Yeah. What did they do? They went inside and they sliced it open. They injured it even more.
I had a partially torn labrum and a fully torn rotator cuff. They didn't mess with the labrum. They said that'll heal on its own, but the rotator cuff needed to be reattached. So they did that, and I went to PT. I would interchange 3 times a week, 2 times a week, and I never had to go back after December, and I was good to go.
Okay.
It took me 6 months. It was supposed to be 9 to 12 months.
Sounds like something that cost a lot of money, where you could have just been playing with a stick. I'm just saying. It sounds really expensive. You know, one time when I was a kid, my foot hurt a lot, so my mom took me to the doctor. We got X-rays done for it, and they said my X-rays were ready. Okay. Yeah, my foot hurts, and it still hurts. So I'm like, okay, and so I walked to the doctor's office, and I asked, hey, you said my X-rays are ready. They're like, yeah, it looks like you got a broken foot. I'm like, okay. And they said, well, where's your mom? I said, oh, my mom's not here. I walked here, and they're like, and so the doctor obviously doesn't know what they're talking about. Whatever that little line was, there's probably a hair on the X-ray machine.
Why did you walk alone to the doctor's office? How old were you?
Oh, like 12.
Well,
it was a different time back then, Michael. It was come back when the streetlights are on.
No, you are not that old. That was post Y2K.
You mean pre Y2K?
No, that was you were 12.
Oh yeah, when I was 12, yeah. It wasn't a bad neighborhood. But yeah, we went outside and played with bikes and hit each other with shovels. It was
probably how you broke your foot.
It was a fun time back then. Oh, I was probably jumping out of a tree or something, sure. But I'm just like, they were trying to get me to put it in a cast and stuff. I'm like, no, why?
And from that point on,
it wasn't
doctor's bad.
It wasn't that point. I think my tipping point was, and this story, obviously I've been emphasizing it for joking reasons, but this one actually was my tipping point. Is when I first started getting into my sales career for my old job, and I was out, driving around all day, door knocking on different businesses to try to sell the product that I was trying to sell. And I just been eating a lot of fast food, been eating a lot of junk food, right? Mostly Chick-fil-A. I go to the doctor. I'm like, because I started feeling kind of sluggish. So I went to the doctor, and the doctor told me, they did some blood work. They're like, oh, it looks like you've got a thyroid disorder. And if you don't start taking this pill now, it'll be bad for you, and it'll be worse if we wait longer. And then he also emphasized that once you start taking this, your body is not going to be able to produce this chemical itself anymore, and you're going to have to take this for the rest of your life. And I looked at the doctor. I was talking to the doctor. I told him, I looked at him, and I'm like, what if I just stopped eating so much Chick-fil-A? And he got offended by that.
He's like,
statement.
but Chick-fil-A's so good.
Exactly. Yeah.
How could you stop that?
This is how that's Jesus chicken. That has nothing to do with this. That's good for you. No. I looked at him and he got offended that I didn't want to take the prescription from him. Why? Probably, and if I had to guess, is because he makes money every time somebody fills that prescription. He wrote it. He gets a little kickback from the drug companies, and I just wasn't ready to accept the fact that I might have some sort of chronic condition that I'm going to be tied to this pill for the rest of my life if I don't start taking it. So what do? I stopped eating Chick-fil-A. Stopped eating so much Chick-fil-A. I really just wanted to get like an idea of where my numbers were at. That's why I was coming into the doctor. And and then I came back a year later and I said, hey doc, how's that condition looking in my blood work? He goes, this doesn't look like you have that. Okay. All right. So you're telling me straight up, you're telling me I was about to start taking a chemical, or I was about to start taking this synthetic hormone that was going to stop my body from being able to produce that hormone naturally ever again. Off of one blood work done, one blood test run, and I would have been forced to take this pill every day for the rest of my life. And you were telling me that there was no way around it, that I had to do it this way. You fought me on me not wanting to take it, and now I don't need it? Huh. That's interesting. Anyway, that there's really no funny to that one. That was just seriously, that was my kind of like, I don't know how I feel about doctors, because to me it's just like any other profession. And as somebody that works with a lot of different business owners, knowing that a lot of the businesses that in your community that you probably deem to be like very respectable and have a very strong operation, 9 times, or I wouldn't say 9 times out of 10, but there's a good chance that business is being strung together with duct tape and twigs, and you wouldn't even know about it. And I think that doctors aren't the exception to that, are not an exception to that. I mean, you have to see it from their perspective. They go to school for 8 years to become a doctor, something like that. Most of them don't come from families they can just pay their way through medical school. They have hundreds of thousands of dollars in student loans that they have to pay back. Probably won't pay them back until 10, 15 years later. So they're very heavily incentivized to make money. And why would they deny a sale? Seeing this from a sales perspective, why would they deny a sale when that person has come to them looking for an answer? And I'm not saying all doctors are this way, but you got to think of it from the human perspective that the temptation must be there to sell them something that they don't need. It's unfortunate that we're at that that we're kind of at that level. I mean, they're hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. They need to make money. The opportunity is, do you want to make money? Yes or no, right in front of them. People aren't perfect, and they may just say yes just to kind of ease what they need to do. Not not even to mention that they try to they're doctors. They got in. Not all doctors get into the profession, but a lot of them get into it because they want to make a lot of money. Anyway, I would trust. There are certainly doctors I would trust, but then there are a lot of doctors that I wouldn't trust. Last time I went to the doctor, I had I had something going on with lethargy, basically. They tried to sell me 3 different things before I left. They said, "Hey, do you want this?" No, I don't want that. Oh, okay. Well, we can also give you this. So let me write your prescription. No, I really don't. I don't want that. And then the third thing, they were like, "Well, at least let me get you this, just so you know you've got something that's working. Let me write your prescription." No, doc, I don't want anything. I wanted to know what was wrong. That's what I wanted to know, and I wanted to figure out a way to do that. And I just wanted a diagnosis. I didn't come here for a cure. And it's just it's something that grinds my gears a little bit as a sales guy. Like, as somebody that has to go out, look for people to buy a product of mine, and then to know what it takes to have to go out there, and then you have to convince them, and it's over and over again. Sometimes people absolutely need the product. I don't try to sell products to anybody that don't need what I'm selling, but there are people out there that need it, and sometimes you have to have that back and forth conversation of, here's why you need it. Doctors have people coming in that don't want to accept personal responsibility most of the time, as most people don't, where a lot of what they're dealing with could be resolved with proper diet and exercise. And they just get in this habit of, this person's coming in complaining about this. I want to have and they're coming in complaining about something, and it's very easy for that doctor to get that person to shut up if they just write a prescription and hand it to them. And they've just made a sale. They've just made money because they've handed them that piece of paper. Doctors are a interesting profession. What used to be considered a noble profession, I would not give it that same title any longer.
Well, I think with any profession, I want someone that is, for one, passionate about that profession. And they're not just passionate in making money. They're passionate about doing the best they can with the tools that they've acquired throughout their life or their education to do that job. So if you go to a doctor that is trying to get you out the door as quick as possible to see the next patient, to possibly sell them a prescription, that's not a good thing. But if we could take to the TV show House, for example. House was a character that he was always inquisitive and wanted to know what the problem was to try to fix the patient. He didn't have the best bedside manner for sure, but he did what he had to do to fix the patient. I'd rather have a doctor that is curious of what's going on than a doctor that's just trying to fix it. I'll go to an anecdotal situation that happened back during COVID. Everybody's starting to come down with COVID in our family, and I got it, and my mom got it, and of course, my mom and dad, sleep beside each other every night, so you can presume it's something that they didn't have any sort of vaccine for at the time. Dad would get it as well. So after we got tested, Dad goes to his PCP, and he gets tested, and he's carrying it, but he's asymptomatic, and he's perfect. He feels perfectly fine. You know what Dad's PCP says to him?
What'd he say?
He says, "I need you to come back, and we need to run some tests, because you're the first person that I know of that is purely asymptomatic, and I want to learn more about this coronavirus."
How much did they charge him for it?
He just wanted him to come back so he could learn. As long as Dad was willing.
Your dad's such an interesting guy.
It was up to Dad whether or not he wanted to do it or not. But that's the kind of doctor I would want.
Sure. Well,
not a doctor that's like, "Oh, you're not sick, nothing's wrong with you, get out of my office." Hey, there's something unique going on here, and because I'm curious about medicine and biology, I would love for you to come back in if you're willing, so I can learn more about this and you, so it could possibly help other people.
Yeah, no, I like that, and obviously at the time, COVID was a hot topic. It was on every doctor's mind. You couldn't go 2 minutes without thinking about it. The problem, and I think like the scenario I want to present to you. I'm gonna tell a story. A man gets into medicine because he's very, very passionate about helping people. This man goes through medical school. He's excited to start his own practice. He's going to become a general practitioner, right? Not specializing in anything, just becoming a general practitioner. Wants to be the family doctor that people go to for the entire time that he's practicing. Just small town doctor or so. Okay. He gets started in medicine. This is gonna be similar to how to kind of the way we view teachers probably. But he gets started practicing, and then he has his first patient come in, and he's like, oh yeah, I can understand what's going on. What you need to do is you need to you need to eat less carbohydrates. You need to eat a more diversified variety of vitamins. Shows that your vitamin levels are low, and that should resolve the symptoms. Next person comes in. Very similar story. Hey, you are sitting at a desk too much. You need to get up and walk around every 20 minutes, and then your symptoms should go away. Okay, and now imagine he does this for the entirety of his first year. The second year, every single one of these people come back with the same thing. They have the exact same problem. They refuse to listen to the advice given to him by the doctor. And he's like, hey, remember how we talked about, maybe we should cut back on the carbohydrates? Yeah, but doc, but my knee hurts, or my joints hurt. Like, right, but what we need you to do is to cut down on foods that are going to cause that inflammation. But doctor, I want something now. I want something that's going to fix this without me having to do any work. Now imagine the frustration that an individual like that, who's just decided to dedicate his life to helping other people, then just being torn down day after day after day of people that won't listen to the actual advice that they need to hear, and they want that quick fix. Now you're in a position of, oh man, people kind of suck. Nobody wants to hold themselves accountable. Nobody wants to take responsibility for the fact that they're the ones causing this. I see exactly what's happening, but all they want is me to just come in with a quick fix. How long would it take for that man, and obviously it would be different for everybody, but how long would it take for that man to just become completely desensitized and jaded to the fact that, and just give up on trying to help people and just start writing prescriptions? Just start writing, because he knows he's tried his hardest to get his patients to listen to him, but they won't do what he's telling them to do. What he was really passionate about was helping people with this, and they just won't listen to him. How long until he's just like, he sees somebody, they come in, oh, my joint hurts, doc. All right, well, here, let me write you a pain pill. Take it. Go. Because he knows that he has no chance of fighting their inability to help themselves. That's what I imagine kind of happens with doctors over time.
It probably does to a certain extent, but there's definitely going to be some patients that do take the advice.
There will be some patients that do take the advice.
You appreciate those patients, the ones that are repeat offenders that come back. If you can't get them to listen, then I guess you start writing them those, because you're still trying to help them. The end goal for every patient that comes in is trying to better their situation. So if you can't better it your primary way, you move to a secondary or a tertiary way.
Yeah, but here's the thing that I want you to consider is how many of those, how many doctors over time, if it becomes enough of a problem, what if it's 1 out of every 200 people that you see that would be willing to take that first bit of advice? I mean, eventually you might just get to the point where you don't even worry about that first, but you just move on to the writing the prescription. because you just assume that most people that you talk to aren't going to care about the advice that you're trying to give them. And I'm not saying that that's inherently the doctor's fault. It's just it's a human interaction problem. You start seeing people as just like, nobody cares. I'm out here, I'm doing my hardest to try to help people, and nobody just cares about actually getting the help that they need for themselves. I'm just gonna, and if I don't write them this prescription, they're just gonna go to some doctor that will, and they're gonna make that money, and I'm not gonna make that money. To me it sounds.
You might need to consider a new profession.
But you can't, but that's the thing. Now you're in a place of indentured servitude. You're making good money where you're at, but you owe all these student loans. Like, how are you going to pay those off if you don't just keep going? It's a depression trap. It's the way that society has everything presented.
There are other pathways. You can always, backtrack and try a different route.
Listen,
it's not going to be an easy one, but if you're so depressed and downtrodden with what you're currently doing, it might not be the worst idea.
Well, part of the depression is going to come from being, just being trapped in where you're at. You've dedicated so much of your time, so much of your life to becoming to getting to this place in society that you feel like you can make a difference. I mean, if you wanted to if you get to this point, you realize it, you look at it as yourself and you're like, I can't do this anymore. And you decide to leave. You're not going to find another job where you're going to make as much money. And that student debt will never get paid off. It's a terrible, vicious cycle. And the people are taking advantage. Like the people of America are the end victims of it. It's terrible.
But if it's true what you're saying, and a lot of doctors become jaded in this way, then the patients aren't the victims, they're the culprit.
Right, yeah. That's why we need to bring back corporal punishment for doctors. They're able to slap people into telling them what to do. Doctors that's never been a thing, and that never will be a thing. But gosh, it would help if some people could just get a big slap in the face. I mean, not everybody's going to have a cousin that's going to kick their butts up
It's a parenting problem.
Are we we're gonna turn this back into teachers?
It's across the board in all facets of life. They're grown up now. Whoever raised you didn't raise you right to be able to listen to instruction.
I disagree. I don't even think it's a parenting problem. I think it's an American. I don't even think it's an American problem. I think it's a people problem. A lot of people just can't accept that they're like what's happening to them is their fault. And that is
whether something's your fault or not. If you have some sort of disability or an issue going on that can be fixed, and somebody that has more knowledge of the situation than you is trying to help you along that route, you can either listen to them and see if it works. And if it doesn't work, that's when you can come back and say, hey, look, you don't know what you're talking about, buddy. That didn't work for me at all. And I listened to you. I took your advice. Or you can disobey them.
That's not the problem. The problem is they lose their motivation to actually help. And then they just start acting on instinct and robotic, and just acting robotic.
I'm talking about when they first, you were talking about that doctor in his first or second year when he's telling people what to do and they don't listen. Well, you should have listened in the first place. If cutting out those carbs and walking 20 minutes in your desk space around it doesn't work, that's when you come back and tell the doctor, hey, but you should have listened to the doctor in the first place.
Yeah, but there are people that aren't willing to do that.
That's their fault.
Yeah, it is their fault. But here's where the problem comes down. It's like they can come back to that doctor, and then that doctor can give them a prescription for something. But what's more than likely going to happen is if that doctor isn't willing to help them, quote unquote, air quotes, the way that they feel like they need to be helped, they're going to go to a different doctor. And then that doctor's going to make the money off of writing the prescription. And then it just gets to a point of, I'm a doctor. I know that this medicine is meant to help with this. This will do that. So I'm just going to write somebody a prescription when they come in. Otherwise, there's a good chance they're not going to listen to my advice anyway. So I may as well just do it. I may as well be the one that makes the money off of it instead of the next guy.
And some doctors may be bad apples from the get-go. They may not, in that first year, be trying to help organically. They may already be seeking the money.
I will say, I'm sure that there are doctors that go into it. They just want the money. That's their whole ultimate goal. I like to believe that the majority of people that go into the profession, they go into it with the idea of, I get to be in a position where I help people, and I actually get to help people. But then I don't know if it's, and it's I would say that they probably teach this in medical school, but they have to realize, and maybe it doesn't become super apparent, but most people don't want to be helped. They want the illusion of being helped, because in order to get help, you have to help yourself. What a rant.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I got on one there. It's something that I'm actually kind of glad we got that on camera, because that's certainly a conversation I've had multiple times. But when people ask me about my take on doctors, again, not a medical professional. If you feel like you need to go see a doctor, go see a doctor. But I just kind of avoid them. And there's also a part of me, Michael, that thinks that if a doctor was really any good, why would they be out this way in rural Alabama?
Everybody needs help somewhere. I mean,
yeah, but I also,
even the small communities.
But I also see, and I have heard things about local offices here that basically doctors get recommendations because they're going to be the first ones that are going to write you a prescription if you ask for it. And, that shouldn't be why you're going to a doctor's office, because you're going to get the prescription that you want. Oh, should I do a social experiment? Should I schedule an appointment and see if I can get a drug that would be like labeled some sort of like prison time drug? I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Like a Schedule 3 drug or something. If I just go ask for it to a local doctor's office here, should I do that as like an experiment?
I mean, I don't know what all is Schedule 3. I'm assuming some hard pain pills are, but
I wouldn't go for pain pills. I would go for something maybe a little bit easier, like Adderall.
Is that Schedule 3?
It's basically meth.
I mean,
Schedule 1. I don't know what's the worst of the schedules. I don't even remember.
Schedule 3 is.
Okay.
I think it goes 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that's basically a prescription for something. And I could I think it'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. If you want to go get Adderall, you go to the doctor and say, "Hey, I can't focus while I'm working." Bam.
It shouldn't be that way. It should be like, "Hey, well, have you tried meditating? Do you practice like other ways to train your body to focus? I mean, how much caffeine are you taking in? How much are you getting enough sleep at night?" Those are things that should be ruled out well before you start writing a prescription for Adderall. And gosh, grief, and Adderall is not a drug to help you focus. Adderall is a drug to help people that have like true attention disorders.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be, I can't focus, so let me get a script real quick. It shouldn't be that easy. It's very, very oh man, you got me on one today, dude. You got me ranting. I'm a little bit heated. This is actually worse than them canceling the Halo 3 tournament, to be honest. I could go on about this. And I just I guess to close out that conversation, I will say that I doctors doctors are just people. They're not ultimate authorities on medicine in my book.
So
they're not.
If we had in the future 10 years from now, instead of going to a human doctor, you go to an AI robot doctor, would you be up for that? Would you think that would be a better thing to do? Even though that robot could be programmed to also try to sell you a prescription.
I was about to say there would be more context needed. If that depends on who made that robot and how much it's trying to sell me on stuff. But I will say I could see a robot. If I stand in like a TSA style, like put my hands up, and it does like a full scan, and it's able to look inside my brain and my organs and my cells and get like accurate blood levels and vitamin levels and stuff, and it fed me back a response that gave me all that information. Dude, I'd be all about that. I would pay to do that once a week just for fun. I hope that we get something like that coming up. Hopefully it's, not one of those things that just like costs an arm and a leg, but that sounds great. That's like future. That's like Star Trek level cool medicine stuff. Be like, here's imagine it's more like a 3D printer type deal where you step in, you put your hands up, it does all your vitamin schedules, and it just pops out a pill. It's like, here's your necessary vitamin requirements for the next week. Come back and we'll give you another dose and see how you're taking to all this. That'd be awesome.
So you're not necessarily. It's not the fact that you come in and the doctor doesn't have a conversation with you about what's wrong with you. You're essentially describing the same thing where you walk in and the robot just gives you a pill and says, be on your way. It's the fact that you don't trust the human's level of comprehension, cognitive ability when it comes to medicine versus a robot's understanding. Like if a robot just gives you a pill, you're like, yes, I trust that you understand what you're doing. You've got all the general knowledge of medicine, calculating at a much higher rate than any human mind can. But if a human does it, you're like, I don't think you've taken the necessary steps here to understand me.
Let me be clear. When I was talking about giving me a pill, I'm not talking about, opioids or painkillers or something like Adderall that's a stimulant. I'm talking like you're vitamin deficient in these specific ways. Here's a vitamin that will accommodate your vitamin deficiencies. And then these are the things eat more leafy greens, eat a few more eggs to get, some of these vitamins. Something like that. If that's my prescription plus a pill that's going to offset my vitamin deficiencies currently, I'm about it. I personally think man.
It is interesting when you're a child and you go to the pediatrician, it's much more focused on what you're talking about than when you're an adult. And it's much harder stuff. More chemical stuff. When you go as a kid, it's like, here are the vitamin supplements the minerals that you haven't gotten. But when you go to your PCP as an adult, they're not talking about that anymore.
Yeah, like there's no difference. I think I would say most of the thing, like our bodies are miracles. Like the fact that we can do all the things that we do, it's really cool when you step back and look at it from a third person perspective. We have the ability to synthesize different hormones. Our bodies can eliminate contaminants, different things, and there are great ways to help assist our bodies in those processes that the majority of people don't do. Stuff like fasting, stuff like making sure you get enough vitamins, making sure you're getting enough electrolytes, drinking enough water. Just some of these very, very basic, simple things can be done to fix a lot of the issues that we get prescriptions for. I think that should absolutely be more of a focus. I just think our society, we're too quick to accept a prescription for something that could have, that might fix this problem, but could cause a bunch of other problems in the future.
Listen to the side effects rundown next time you're watching a commercial for some drug you've never heard of.
Which, by the way, is...
They say the one thing it fixes, and then they start talking in double time about all the side effects.
Which, by the way, commercial prescription or commercial...
It's illegal in a lot of countries.
In every country except for the United States and one obscure country, I think, in South America.
Nice.
You can't advertise drug. Why would you advertise drugs? Why? And why should that be an effective method of actually, like, why would it be worth their money to advertise a drug? Imagine walking into a doctor and saying, I saw this on TV, that's for me. You have no authority. You have no authority to be able to say, oh, I need that drug. That should not be how it works.
And it's great because if you watch programming that is designed for older demographics, that's almost entirely the commercials that you're getting.
Oh, that is really, like, that is a little
watching early morning or late morning to early afternoon programming, Judge Judy type shows, Wheel of Fortune.
Oh, it's bad.
The Price is Right. Watch those shows. Watch the networks that are entirely designed around like syndicated television, like TV Land. Tell me what commercials are popping up. And I equate it to the same thing as like getting scammed through email that older folks are more susceptible to. They're getting scammed through marketing for pills. Same way.
I cannot imagine being a doctor and writing a prescription for something that somebody like walked into my office and asked for. That's just asking.
Hey doc, have you seen this commercial on TV? I think I want it.
Now I will make some exceptions to that. I will make an exception to that rule. Some of these drugs, these weight loss drugs, all right, they're not meant for health. They're meant for vanity.
Ozempic.
You want to advertise a drug that makes you lose weight, and the consenting adult that's willing to take these drugs knows the risks and the side effects, and they've read and heard all the potential side effects, but they're not doing it as a fix to a medical issue they're having. I'm kind of okay with that.
Some people are though.
Some people go
to the doctor and their cholesterol is extremely high, and they're told if they don't lose weight soon, they could be in serious detrimental circumstances in terms of their health. And they say, well, doc, can I just go get Ozempic?
Well, I mean, I would say that that's probably a lot of people in America that just need to lose weight in general. But if their thought is the only way I can lose weight is this GLP-1 drug, then they should that should not be their mindset. Their mindset should be, well, I have the option of doing it the right way, or I have the option of doing it the easy way, and I consent to doing it the easy way, though I might have some potential side effects. I think that the GLP-1 drug should be an option for folks, or that understand that they're. I almost feel like there should be a consent form that you have to sign that says, I am lazy, and that's why I'm doing this.
Well, they'd have to pick up their hand to sign it. They're probably not active enough to do that.
Yeah, that's a good point. But if it's something that they know, like they just have, I don't know. I think I could go on and on. This makes me.
Might have to have a part two of the doctor.
If this ever comes back up, it'll be another whole episode probably. But if it gets me heated and it gets me equal parts a little bit depressed for people.
What I really want
talk about this
is I want to have another guest on from the boys,
Doc,
and we have Doc on for this chat, part 2.
Oh, I would love to bring in Doc to this because I feel like every time this conversation comes up that I have it with Doc, it always gets interrupted by the next game that he's about to start up. I would love to have just a sit down, dedicated
And
conversation.
I have no
about this
doubt
one.
that on some of your perspectives, he's in agreement.
Well, Doc would be one of those guys that I'd be like, "Hey, man, like we're bros. Help me figure out what's going on here. I'm trying to figure it out. Here's my blood work, or like let's get some blood work done." But dude decides he wants to do it he wants to like work with children, right? Am I mistaken about that? He's a kid doctor, pediatrician.
Unless he's
right?
changed recently. I thought he was a GP.
Is he GP? Okay. Well, it sucks that he lives so freaking far away.
Yeah.
It's
It's a long trip.
that's another thing. If you're like in with somebody, you know, it's kind of like going to buy a car. You know, if you're like that dude goes to your church, or that dude not even goes to your church. That guy, like, you knew him growing up. You know what I mean? Like, you guys were you guys used to play like Little League together, kind of close. You know you're gonna get a pretty good deal on the car, right? He's gonna cut out the BS. He's just gonna like get you one if he's that kind of person who's inclined to do that. That's kind of how I would feel about doctors also. Mm-hmm. Anyway, all right. I think we wrap up. What do we say? This was episode 19.
Episode 19.
You know, we haven't done the date in a while. Today's date,
It's February the 22nd.
February 22nd.
The day that will live in infamy as no Halo 3 tournament and doctors are poo-poo.
Yeah. And that's by design, not their own fault.
Poo-poo on 2-2. 2-2-2.
All right, I'm going to just stop recording. I don't know where Michael's going with this.
Sorry, it's too much baby talk.